Thank you, Mr. Brock, for joining us today for some questions. So let's get into it. Number one, what's your thoughts on Congress so far?
I think they're off to a okay start. You look at last term, we had three congressmen, which is really bad. I think this time it's good that they are. We have a full Congress. I think they're passing laws very quickly, and they're passing a lot. I would like to see maybe them take a step back and start to reform some laws we currently have. We have laws that are 2, 3, even 4 years old that are just not relevant or just overall poorly written laws that maybe I think need to be rewritten or repealed. And I think we can do a lot with reforming Congress. We have a lot of laws, and a lot of laws are, I mean, quite blunt, pointless, or very stupid or poorly written. That
Hmm.
I just think our Congress need to do a better job of taking a step back. I think they don't always need to be making new laws to make an impact. They can simply reform laws that we currently have. I think it's a politics game, right? Whoever, you know, make as many laws as you can and then campaign on the fact that you made so many laws. But I don't think that's always healthy for the nation. I think sometimes we just need to stop making new laws and fix the laws that we currently have that are doing a quite deal of bad damage to the nation.
Hmm. Um, with the Secretary of Transportation right now, the spot is void. What is your plans to help revise it and maybe improve it with the next secretary?
So yeah, if you didn't already know, tomorrow we'll be announcing the new Secretary of Transportation. Um, as it was before, the Department of State and Department of Transportation kind of overlapped and intertwined, and the former secretary was secretary for both departments, and that's going to be. We took the last couple weeks to completely rework that in terms of how we're going to divide the roles and how that's going to work. We're pretty happy with the conclusions we came to with that, and we're going to release that tomorrow. And we're looking forward to the future of both departments. I think we're headed in a very good direction.
So you're officially signing two different secretaries now, correct?
We'll be announcing that all tomorrow. I can't say for certain that there will be a Secretary of Transportation announced tomorrow.
All right. Um, Next off, the Gallifrey project is one of your main campaigns, like one of your main focuses. How has it been going so far?
Yeah, we're very happy with the results of that. Yesterday we released a statement on it saying that we had 11 of the 16 townhomes that are in Gallifrey renovated, and by the time the project is finished, we'll have 13 of the 16 homes renovated. There are three homes that are owned by a Gallifrey homeowner, in which that homeowner is happy with the current state of their houses, so they won't be renovated. That's perfectly okay. There's also four shop regions in Gallifrey called the G shops. Those will also be renovated as well. And in the future, we're looking towards adding more homes and just revitalizing Gallifrey. It's doing a lot to bring the economy, housing market better. We actually were able to acquire two new townhomes that were owned by inactive people. Those will be put into the market. So it's creating more houses, driving down this heavily inflated housing market. So we're pretty excited with what we've been able to do in Gallifrey. It's pretty amazing in the short amount of time, the amount of work that we were able to put in and get done in that town.
Hmm. So, what do you think is the severity of the housing market and the inflating economy currently?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a concern, right? I think every administration has never been able to fully tackle it, and I can't sit here and promise that I'm going to fix it, right? I mean, this is a years and years building problem, and the fact that we didn't identify it sooner and tackle it as it happened was really the death of our economy. We had some out of character events of people hacking in money, which really screwed over our economy. We've never been able to recover for that. And that was something we can never control, right? But
Hmm.
we saw inflation going up. We saw the demand for houses not being met. We saw all the houses being bought up. and it really gives the seller all the negotiating power in terms of buying and selling. The seller has the say because there are no houses for sale, and whenever one's on sale, you have multiple buyers going for one home, and that competition is only going to drive the price up and inflate more and more and more and more, and it's not going to stop until we are able to fix this supply and demand issue we have. But you have to do it in a very smart way, right? You can add 5 more houses or another neighborhood, and the same thing's going to happen, right?
Mhm.
So you can't just sit here and say add more homes. That's not going to fix our issue, right? Because look at Sanford houses; they were
Yeah.
bought up. It was we only added one neighborhood, and that was the problem, right? You added one neighborhood at a time. They're all bought up in one day, and now they're already inflated up a couple $100,000, I believe, right?
Mhm.
So you have to find a way if you're gonna add more houses, you really have to saturate the housing market with as many houses as you can, because if you have 5 or 6 houses sitting for sale, nobody can go and sell their house for more, right?
Mhm.
Because you got 5 or 6 houses that are constantly for sale.
So you're
You know what?
saying more
So
houses currently would be better than less houses, like an over, like too many is better than too little.
yes, yes, because when and this is not the only solution, let alone maybe the best solution, but in terms of when people ask for more houses and add more houses, they have to understand we can't just add 5 or 6 more houses, right? If we're going to add houses, we have to add a lot of houses because right now we there is no fix. Nobody has presented a fix, and this is on the government, this is on myself, and this is on other forces that we can't control in terms of what has happened to our housing market, right?
Mhm.
So yes, we need to add more houses, but we have to be careful in which how we add more houses. We have to either set a cap on them, or we need to really saturate our housing market with more houses to really drive down the demand. If we have more houses than we do people needing houses, then the prices have to go down because if people really want to sell their homes, they have to
Mhm.
lower prices down because there's other houses for sale. There's too many houses for sale now. So we have to really switch, we have to really, in a sense, flip flop this negotiating power from the sellers to the buyers. If the buyers are in the advantage in which there are more houses and more options for them, the sellers then have to bring down their prices in order to get their house sold.
Mhm. Um, Staying kind of in the San Amaro topic, what's your thoughts on the Navy's rebuilding of their fleet so far?
Yeah, I'm very happy to say my administration has really been the first administration since that tragic sinking of our naval fleet to really sit and rebuild our entire fleet from the ground up. We 11 new destroyers and a new carrier to our fleet, which has really put our fleet um, as the most dominant in the world. Really, um, we were very proud of what we were able to build, and we built it in a very short amount of time. And we have a really strong navy along with the rest of our military, and um, we value the defense of this country, and our military is at the ready to defend this country if need be. Um, and we're really proud that we built this fleet, and the navy still has more work to do, more building. But as for our fleet, it's at the strongest it's ever been.
Mhm. So your relationship with other nations is I'd say pretty strong though. Is that correct?
Yes, when I say at the ready, of course our military is at the ready to defend our country, but that's not needed. We have ships with coral and Holy See and Lek, and we're only continuing to build those relations. We really plan to step up our international affairs. Um, Tomorrow, actually, I have a couple meetings with the United Nations, reading over their charter. By the end of my term, I do plan to officially put Vindex Nation in the United Nations as a starting member of the United Nations.
Mhm.
So that's going to be very exciting. We've been sitting on a brand new United Nations facility for a couple of years now, or not years, but months, but a very long time, and we have yet to do anything with this United Nations. So if we can, under my administration, if I can bring all these countries in together,
Mhm.
work together with them, and really get into the United Nations and make an impact on an international level, that's really the goal.
Mhm. What's your thoughts on like the police force and how it has seemed to decrease over the past few months? Do you think it's just be a seasonal issue, or are we seeing a real issue within the police force?
Yeah, I mean, when you look on the weekdays, our overall our nation population has been below average. We're looking at maybe 30 people active on the weekdays and 60 people on the weekends.
Mhm.
And
Do you think this is bleeding through currently with the police force?
um,
This
sorry
decrease?
about that.
You're fine. Do you think
Um,
the decrease is like showing in the police force more than other departments?
no, I really don't. I think since I've come into president, we revamped the DOJ leadership, and that has actually caused an increase in officers. You look at October, November, December,
Mhm.
we had no officers. We had none
Mhm.
at all. And since I became president, that number
Mhm. I think you cut out again.
apologies.
Mhm.
That number has only increased since this DOJ revamp. We've gone from 0 cops to an entire tab full on the weekends. We're looking at the proportion between cops and criminals is more than substantial now, and we've really been able to enforce law and order now. And you look at before my administration took office, it really wasn't happening. We had no police; it was just simply crime. You were dealing with potential martial law, things like that. We went in, we revamped the DOJ and the VPD leadership, and Riley has done a terrific job of increasing law enforcement numbers. We're very happy with the amount of numbers we have. We're at a very good proportion between criminals and cops, and I'm really proud of the work that my administration did to really revitalize the DOJ and the VPD. As for recent low numbers, I think that's overall just the nation. The server numbers are just lower than average, right?
Mhm.
It's February, school's going on, things like that. I wouldn't say it's the police. I think it's everything. All nationally, all of the numbers are going down. We have high numbers on the weekend. We have high police numbers on the weekends, and it lowers during the weekdays. And I don't think that's just the police department. I don't think the police department is getting it any worse than anyone else. I think it's proportional across the board in terms of numbers being low. I don't think any citizen should be fearful of the lack of police officers. I think, like I said, we're at a very proportional, good proportion in terms of the ratio between cops and criminals, and we've really done nothing but improve our police force since my administration has taken office.
So, do you think the crime rate overall has also dropped to a comfortable amount for most citizens?
I do think it has dropped. The Vindex Nation has always had a history of high crime record, and that's never going to stop because just crime has become such a passion and career for most people as they seek joy out of it, and you can't really convince them to do anything but that. Some people have been doing crime since they started the server, and they're never going to change that. But what we've been able to accomplish with our police force really has driven down the crime rate and made Vindex Nation a safer place to be in.
Mhm. Do you have any big projects or any plans in the near future that you can talk about or anything at all?
Yeah, so today we just released our government improvement survey results. Um, we saw a lot of things with the health department in terms of our citizens thought that we were lacking with the health department. So we're going to be in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be working with the health department to really find some sort of project and ways to increase our health department, our fire department, and EMS and all those things, and really add more role play and give that department more attention in terms of. You look at the potential of adding the CDC. We've talked about. We've even have an HQ planned for that. That might find its way into the nation soon, as that project is being discussed, and just all sorts of things in the health department as well. You look at overall just the government responses. My administration is very transparent. We always listen, and you can contact me at any point. Any sort of suggestion or things that people think the government should be doing, we listen to that on a daily basis. And then, of course, you have things that kind of alter agendas, right? Every day something happens that involves the president or the government's attention that we have to tackle. We don't really know what tomorrow faces. We know what we might want to accomplish tomorrow.
Mhm.
We won't know what actually will happen tomorrow, right? So we're just going to keep working on our agenda to that we promised we would do. So far, we've been doing a terrific job of that. We've accomplished a short amount of time, and we're very proud of what we accomplished. I think the entire nation should be proud of the direction we're going. I just did in that State of the Nation address. We did so many good things. We're gonna just keep pushing forward. We are revamping the archives in the museum. There's still things in the future that are going to be added to that, and we're just overall so many more things in the future we're going to keep doing and improving. Um, and it's never, all the way. We're just going to keep pushing till the end of the term, right? I like to get
Mhm.
things done. I don't like to sit. Now that I got president, it's not time to let off the gas, right?
Yeah.
I had my foot on the gas, doing everything I could to get elected. Now that I've finally gotten elected, there is no me letting off the gas, right? I'm still gonna give it 110%. We're gonna keep working every day to make this nation better. There's no set. We're gonna address everything that we said we're gonna address, and we have done that. We're gonna keep doing that. The economy, the housing market, the government survey results, Project Caliphate. There's so many things that are still need to be finished, and so many things in the future that will come up, and we're just gonna keep tackling them as they come.
Mhm. Well, I would like to thank you for your time tonight to talk with us, and wish you the best of luck for the rest of your presidency and beyond. Hopefully, we can sit down and talk again.
Yeah, thank you for having me.